Hi there, vinyl community. It's Martin here. Hope you're all doing well. I'll just take a vinyl community sip of my coffee, which most people. Quite a lot of people like to do that, don't they? Yeah. It sort of gives the impression that someone's had a really busy day and then they've just got enough time to show some records and have a cup of coffee and then go back into whatever really busy things they're doing. Anyway, I'm at home until I go to work later, but it's not for a while yet. Anyway, so my competition is still up and running, and it will not finish until the end of this month, which is May 2022. So check the previous video if you want to see what the questions are for a chance to win this and some other prizes, some other vinyl that I'll probably post off. I'm just getting, never done a video in here before, I don't think. CDs behind me, or quite a lot of them at least anyway. So I think I'm getting an echo off the radiator almost. Yeah, quite interesting. Anyway, got some £1 finds and then some more expensive finds to show you today. And I think I'll have another drink of coffee. Maybe it gives the impression of being intellectual. I don't know. Anyway, right, okay, some £1 fines. Let's start with some absolutely abysmal £1 fines. All right, yeah, I've got to go and do that in a minute. Okay. Anyway, here's a £1 fine. Although it's got a £6 sticker on it from a dump kind of shop. So this is Walking After Midnight, Patsy Cline. I'd like to say I was inspired to buy country music and get into it by Headley and also Jacob at Dallas Open Micer, but I'm not really that into country. I could force it, I suppose, a bit more, but yeah. Well, there's Patsy Cline anyway, so that was £1. It's not even Patsy Cline on the cover, is it? But it's on Ember. Presume that's a decent enough label. This is a replacement copy. This is a bit of John Barry for £1. It's got some James Bond things on it and Midnight Cowboy and Theme from the Persuaders. It was on Sony, and I'm guessing it's sort of 70s sort of compilation. See, another one. It hasn't got John Barry on the cover. It's got him on the back, but it's got so Tony Curtis and Roger Moore there. Yeah. This is not the original. This is a 12-inch. My wife is madly into this song at the moment. Woolly Bully. I don't know, is this a joke version of it or not? It's Sam the Ram and the Fair Isles. I'm guessing it might be a joke version of it. It's on some unknown label I've never heard of called Star Blend Records. And I'm guessing it's sort of like mid-80s or something. 86, yeah. B-side is Salt and Vinegar. Woolly Bully instrumental, and then normal version on that side. Slightly tatty copy, maybe for sampling, I don't know. Probably had this before. This is Fourth Dimensions, so this is BBC Radiophonic Workshop. Yeah, well, it'd be good to hear it again anyway, Some more country here for you. Glenn Campbell Words. This appears to all be cover versions. The one that you see all the time is the Greatest Hits, isn't it? Especially in the UK. Yeah, this is from Hollywood, April 1973. Glenn writes, I hope you enjoy this album as much as I enjoyed making them. And there he is with some of his other albums down there. This is on Ember as well. Yeah, I'll give it a go. I mean, I listened to a few online and they weren't too bad. He was doing Words, yeah. But he was doing Words by Bee Gees. There's also Impossible Dream on here. I really like that song. Thanks, Glenn. Something for Richard McCook here. This is, don't know if this is a rare one or not. This is a Top of the Pops album, 71. And yeah, one of those sort of covers there. Yeah. So this is a bit like the opposite of Spinal Tap, isn't it? Smell the Glove, where they say, what is it they say? Yeah, it was that clever twist between stupid and clever. Yeah, if only he'd been smelling the glove, the man, and not the woman. So, yeah, top of the pops album there on Hallmark Records. Lovely. Some Jacqueline Dupre. Her promo of EMIR, demonstration only, not for sale. I only realised it's got staples on it here, which is a bit nasty there. But so you got your Haydn Concerto in D minor and somebody called Mon Cello Concerto, who I've never heard of. Vienna. It's from Vienna. Yeah. From the sublime to the ridiculous. Okay, here's Russ Abbott's Madhouse. And the particular song, the title that grabbed it for me was Only One Man by Julio Double Iglesias. There we go, that one there. I'd give that a go. You know, I was never a Russ Abbott fan, to be honest, but I do quite like Atmosphere. Yeah, Ghost Joggers in Sky. Burnley is Babylon. I'm guessing that's a spoof on some sort of King Wilf and the Rastaplasts. Yeah, I can imagine this is sort of humour that doesn't exist anymore. Cancelled humour. I don't even know what he does now. A copy. I gave this a play. Streisand. I was going to call her Streisland. This is Barbara Streisand and Barry Gibb. Guilty. Yeah, I quite like a couple of the tracks. You know. Yeah. Bit of reselling value there for more than £1 maybe, and even worse than that, dare I show this. This is the Teledisc double vinyl pressing of Barry Manilow. Yeah, let's give Baz a go. Some guy called Dick Jensen, described on Discogs as funk soul, does not look it, so I thought I mustn't let my prejudice about a man with that sort of a haircut I mustn't be biased about that, you know. So he's got a better haircut than I have. So anyway, a few more £1 fines from the other day. Cab Calloway, some sort of best of on the I Love Jazz kind of label. Interesting comp here. Might have had this before. The Dimension Dolls, Carole King, Little Eva, and the Cookies, all doing songs, 60s, also quite a lot of Goffin King songs on there. This is on London. Yeah. And another £1 find here. Muses with Milligan. Never really been into Spike Milligan. I mean, talking of comedians being on PC, he did a comedy sketch with Daleks of an Asian persuasion, which I'm sure, you know, I wonder if he was embarrassed about that, or I wonder if that was just his generation and stuff, you know. Yeah. All right, another swig of coffee. So as I say, my competition's still open until the end of the month, and that's reliant on me returning from Finland in good and safe time as well. Few records here I got. I can't remember where I got these now. Is it up in London or something? And then some from a record fair as well. Yeah, in fact, have I actually? Yeah. No, this was from a record fair. I know this seller that sold this one to me. I have been getting into Van Morrison a bit lately. This is Common One from 1980. Sort of quite like this period of Van Morrison. Yeah, it's a bit jazzy, but it's quite smooth, laid back. But I don't know what it is. Yeah, quite spiritual as well, I suppose. I like it. Yeah, Mark Isham is on it. Who's on? Is that Wyndham Hill artist? I think. So shout out to Rob Ison there for that. Yeah, that's that. I'm not putting them in the right order, but anyway. Okay, this I was I've no idea what this is, but it's sort of experimental. It's Tropa Macaca and Sensacio do Principio. So I'm guessing that is Brazilian, but it's made in America. Some sort of experimental 12-inch. It had a big discography, but it was only like £3 or something, so I thought I'd give that a go. I've got 50p here for Charles Lawton readings from the Bible, sorry. That is on a Brunswick label. So he's done Garden of Eden from Genesis, The Fiery Furnace from Daniel 3, Noah's Ark, Genesis 6 to 9, and from 1 Samuel 17, he's done David and Goliath. So sort of your Bible greatest, Old Testament greatest hits there. This was a couple of quid. This is a compilation of best songs of Israel. Don't think Israel made it to the Eurovision final. Didn't see them. So it's a 70s comp. Hallelujah, Milk and Honey, I know. The other ones I have no idea about. It's on that kind of a label. Rec O Hit. And found one of this lady's records last year and thought I would dive in again. Not sure. Oh, this actually explains on the label. It's a US reissue of the 1952 album. So this is Sumac and Legend of the Sun Virgin. I think this was not her first album. A lot of her early stuff was on 78s. It's that old. And the South American poser is Moises Vivanco. So this is sort of more Peruvian kind of music. Yeah, that's the record. Here's the inner sleeve with lots of exciting things on it. And here's the label. It's not in bad nick, to be honest, for whatever it cost me. What was it? £7-8, I think. Yeah, quite pleased with that. Shout out to Rob Walker. So I haven't got her album from last year. This is Jane Weaver, Modern Cosmology. I found this somewhere for 50p, and I think Rob mentioned her. I'd never really heard of her, to be honest, but I really like this album, and I picked up a copy here. It's 2017, isn't it? Yeah. This is a really good album. I don't know her entire catalogue, but she's been around quite a long time now. Married to, is it Andy Votel? Yeah. I know his name as a DJ. Now, having been reading James's book there, I picked up a Squeeze album, although the pressing does not look good. So this is Frank the Tortoise, Squeeze, and it is from 1989. Yeah, I noticed that in the pictures on the back, Jules Holland decided to not be in the pictures, whether he was just too busy, like being busy. I don't really know, but yeah, so that is Squeeze. That is my first Squeeze album, I think, actually. Yeah. Not really the best place to start with them, apparently, but never mind. This was from a record fair. I think this was a swap I did with another seller. So this is a rock jazz cantata, the sounds of Synanon, the Synanon Choir. It's on Epic. It's got a demo stamp there. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about that really, but I gave it a listen. I seem to be doing a lot of listening to things on YouTube and then diving into them. I'm tempted to say these last three are new records. They're all Midlife Crisis albums. So Mike Skinner of the Streets, 2020, is definitely going through a midlife crisis. Although some would say that he was in the first record that he did, awesome debut album. Mixed reviews to some of his other ones. Yeah, this seems to be a lot of tracks about old-fashioned mobile phones, and yeah, there's a track here, Conspiracy Theory Lifestyle. The Poison I Take, Hoping You Will Suffer. Yeah, they're all collaborations with other people. Tame Impala, Idols, people I don't really know, to be honest. But I thought I would give it a go anyway. It was from one of these sellers you get at record fairs. So it was like a tenner. Everything they have is a tenner. It's all sealed. I'd say probably half of the stuff at least you've never heard of, and another 20-30% is stuff by bands you've heard of, but do you really want a Fleetwood Mac concert from Canada in 1986 or something? It's all sort of that kind of stuff. Talking of gigs, I went to a gig, went to see Kristen Hersh of pardon me, too much coffee, of Throwing Muses fame. That was when was that? That was last week, I think, in an old sort of like a decommissioned church with a community centre attached to it. So the acoustics were great. The support guy was a guy called Fred Abalong, who was in the Throwing Muses. Now, I wasn't that keen on him, to be honest. Maybe in retrospect I might like it, but his voice I did not really like. I later found out he was the bass player of Throwing Muses. Yeah, his song approach was they were almost like sort of little bits that you could see in like a film or something. Anyway, Kristen Hersh, I haven't listened to her stuff for a long time, since like the solo album she did. But I did, even though I haven't got it, I did actually recognise some of the tracks, like Your Ghost and that sort of stuff. Anyway, she did a fair amount of time for the gig. It was seated, which I think actually suited it in the end. Yeah. There was a bar in there. Yeah, a church with a bar. Yeah, there was a bar in there. It was pretty well attended for somewhere in a small provincial town, and they had a table at the back. So I was like eyeing everything up, and because I bought my mates, or the people I went with, mates, bought them tickets. One I had as like credit to buy a record, so they had some of her solo stuff. They had some newer Throwing Muses stuff. So obviously, I didn't even really know they were still going. Like Tanya Donnelly left, didn't she? So Belly, that would have been like 1991, and the main Throwing Muses album that I was into was Real Ramona. If I had any others, I haven't got them now. I've still got that. And then there was this other band, which my mate said, go for that one. So there's a postcard of them here. Oh, it's a download codey thing. Anyway, so this band is called 50 Foot Wave. So it's called Black Pearl. So despite the serene cover, it's very noisy and described as too noisy to go on a Throwing Muses album. Discordant. Yeah, let's have a bit of that kind of thing now. It's 2022. We need that now, don't we? Time to Wake Up. It's on Fire Records, and it's not bad, actually. Yeah. So the last one, the final Midlife Crisis album to show you, I bought last week. We went shopping, and I decided to go in HMV. Hardly Much Vinyl, as I like to call it. So I bought Wet Leg. So I didn't go for the 75p option of buying a thick PVC sleeve, partly on the principle of it. It was bad enough having to go in there and being ignored for a couple of minutes before I walked around again. Couldn't find it at all. I knew what the cover looked like. So yeah, it's a lot of midlife men seem to be buying this. I'm just glad that they are old enough and they've got a degree. And I suppose the Chaise Lounge single and a couple of others from the films that they've done for them. I mean, it's great marketing. Will I have had enough of this by the end of the summer? I don't know. That remains to be seen. Anyway, I will leave it at that. 20 minutes. Quite a long video for me. Thanks for watching. Start to enjoy the summer, everybody. Enter my contest if you want to. If not, you can leave a comment if you want to on this one, or yeah, I'll speak to you all soon. Cheers. Bye.